Welcome to vlog number 2. It was quite a really busy day yesterday, and today I'm hoping to have a lazy, just relaxed day, chill day with Jess, my regular carer. So I'm hoping to actually incorporate what we do on a general basis during the day, like my dressing change, and that's usually before I get out of bed of a morning. Lately I've been wetting the bed. I've been leaking urine out of my stomach. I'm not really sure why this happens. No one can usually pinpoint why it does, but sometimes doctors and nurses can make you believe that, it's not normal behaviour, when if you actually ask people on the outside world with you, they have the same experiences. So maybe they're not seeing these people that also have these experiences. I don't know, but I know with FND, a lot of the doctors have made me think that, oh no, that's not normal. Oh no, you shouldn't have that. Oh no, you shouldn't be numb from the waist down. And oh no, you shouldn't be numb and you shouldn't be able to walk. Oh my God, no. None of this is what you should be having. Oh my God. Get a grip, world. Times are changing. I don't bring these things on myself. And this is just what happens. I am numb from the waist down, and I have been since 2022. I can't feel myself. The closest example of what I can give you is when you sit on your leg and it goes to sleep, and then you walk. But you can't walk because your leg is asleep. So that's the closest example I can actually come to. But hey, that's not normal. You shouldn't be feeling that. That's not normal. I speak a lot of FND, and I really haven't gone a lot in depth, but it's moments like this that really remind me that there are some allied health people out there that really have no idea. They've got absolutely no bedside manner. I know when I was in bed for 3 solid weeks, I had to poop in a bed, a hospital bed. I had to pee into my bag, but I had to poop, and that was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. Try rolling onto a fucking bedpan. Mate, I've been a nurse for most of my life, and I can't tell you how many people I've helped sit on a bedpan. But when you have to do it yourself, it's the hardest bloody thing you can ever do. So I was never able to, but I gave it a go, and thank God I hardly ate while I was in there because I was so stressed in hospital, and therefore I hardly pooped. So I really think they could have actually gotten a hoist for me. There was a hoist in the ceiling that I could have been hoisted up on and put onto the toilet, or hoisted up onto the bedpan. I think it was just too much trouble for them. And honestly, nothing should be too much trouble. I don't understand. I was a good nurse. I would have done anything for my patient. Most times I never finished on time. I did hours and hours and hours of overtime because my patients needed me. It's a bit more relaxed now, whereas there's one nurse with 5 patients, but my night shifts used to be one nurse to 20 patients. Yep. No wonder the buzzers were still going off when the AM shift started. Yep. And hospitals are still the same now. They still don't have a lot of nurses to cover certain wards. So yes, the ratio might be 1 person to 5 patients, but realistically, sometimes that never happens. And one nurse might end up with 15 patients because 2 other nurses have failed to turn up for their shift, or have taken sick leave or stress leave or mental health leave, or have finished totally the night before, sent an email to their boss saying, take me off the roster, I'm not coming back again. Because nurses are highly qualified and they're highly sought after. So it's not that you can't get another job, especially when you're a good one. I remember this one allied health worker. It was a she. She was a physiotherapist at the Gold Coast University Hospital. And this is what she said to me one day. She said, "Bettina, why is it that you think you can't walk?" I couldn't answer her. I had no idea. I mean, wasn't I there for that reason? I just couldn't believe the way she'd actually said that. "Bettina, why do you think you can't walk?" I'll never forget the way she spoke to me. Never. It was so condescending, so rude, so illiterate. And she was a physiotherapist that would have gone through university. Like, where's the bloody training in bedside manner? I believe doctors are getting some training now on bedside manner, but hello, you need more than just a little bit of training. Surely when you're hands-on, you learn this from your patients. I don't understand it. I truly don't. Wow, I've started this morning with a rant, haven't I? But you know what? A necessary rant. It is so frustrating having a condition that borders with not just a physical disability, but a psychiatric one. My brain fails to switch on and tell my legs how to work. My brain will sometimes allow me to swallow, and then it stops me in my track. And in that few seconds, I've either got to take a breath and risk choking, or not taking a breath, reaching out for my bottle of water and swallowing, finishing the swallowing. I have choked twice in the past 2 months. My son had to do the slap on the back, and that was because I had a bright idea of heating up some donuts in the oven to make them turn out a bit like churros. And the second time was on a cup of coffee when I was visiting a sister and my carer was with me. So both times I had people as a backup and I had people to witness these things happening to me. So they weren't just makeup. They were fair dinkum actual incidents of choking. I can be walking along and then all of a sudden I drop to the floor. This happens really frequently. I haven't been without my wheelchair for years. In one of my videos, I actually did film and I was up and walking. That was a proud moment for me. I was really proud of myself for doing that. But I have those days, they don't happen. I can count them on one hand, and that's probably twice. Most of the time, if not all the time, I'm in a wheelchair, even at home. I can't go out without my wheelchair, even if it means just walking from the car door to my friend's front door. I can't do that. Because if I fall, then how am I getting home? I can't get myself up off the floor. I don't have any medical grade equipment to help me get up the floor. The ambulance has what they call a razor, and they keep it in one of their ambo stations. And when they get to a person like myself who's stuck on the floor, but they're mobile and there's absolutely no signs of broken bones or anything like that, then what will happen is they go and pick that razor up. They come back with it, get me up off the floor. If I have to go to hospital, then on the way to hospital, we drop by and we drop by and drop off the razor to that ambulance station. My memory isn't what it used to be like. It's very rare for me to remember things, and if I do, again, I get so proud of myself for even trying to remember. FND, they say, is caused by trauma. Trauma, and in my case, trauma from pain and trauma for being molested as a child. I was between the ages of 10 and 12 when I was molested by my brother's best friend. When I first told my parents what had happened, actually, I didn't tell my parents. I trusted the person in my life with this information. I trusted the person that I loved in my life with this information. And I had no idea he was going to throw it in my parents' face. But he did. In the wrong context. If it wasn't for you, your daughter wouldn't be so mentally unstable. Your brother's mate molested her. I had no intention of telling my parents, none. It was over with, it was dealt with. I tried to find this person to confront him. I couldn't find him. I moved on. I'm happy to do that. My parents did the same thing, what my mother did. She couldn't find him. When I asked my mother about 2 years before she passed away, I asked her how she felt when she was told this information. And she said, well, I don't believe it. I'm sorry? So you're telling me I was not molested as a child? She goes, yes, I'm telling you that I don't believe you. Now that crushed me. Absolutely crushed me. I could not believe that's what my mother was saying. Couldn't at all believe it. It was unbloody believable. So anyway, I know the truth. He knows the truth. And that's all I care about. So it did make me feel awkward. I felt sorry for my mother, but same token, I honestly felt she was interfered with as a child as well. Just from some of the history that she told me. Like, her mother used to beat her hard with a hairbrush when she was born. And the hairbrush that she owned was thick and heavy. She couldn't brush her hair for weeks afterwards. So she was locked in a laundry and left there for days. So she also suffered trauma in her life, and she also had a nervous breakdown. She ended up having some issues with her walking, but she was very strong-willed and she ended up walking again properly. But she was also a very sick woman. Physically, she was quite sick. She's since died, and I don't think I'd be having this same conversation with you or anyone else out there if she was still alive, because I wouldn't want anyone to find out, and I didn't want anyone to actually confront her, because I can honestly say that my parents probably would have felt partially at blame, because it did happen while everyone was sleeping. I used to question it, but it happened. It happened. I actually went to see a clinical psychiatrist, and I do believe it happened. It happened. So in my life, I've had some trauma, not just in relation to being molested, but in relation to trauma and pain. So pain is also trauma for me. Since my daughter was born in 1994, I've had a lot of issues with my female body parts. I have had a partial hysterectomy, but that's done me no favours. It's actually made me worse. So there's a lot that's gone in my life. And to be honest, I have spoken about a lot of this morning, and my head's already spinning. So I'm going to leave it here, and hopefully throughout the day I'll do some filming of what my lovely carer Jess does for me. So until then, other than that, have a great day. Thank you so much for supporting my channel and watching. I appreciate it. Look, it's free. If you could share my channel with your friends and your family, if you think it would help talking, if you could share, subscribe, like, comment below, I would really appreciate that. All of that is free. I don't ask any money of you. I just want you to be able to share my story if that resonates with you. So until the next time we talk, this is me, still.